Hey Nintendo fans, and welcome to Nintendo Fact of the Day. A handful of months back, I ran a video called Pokemon Sizes Are Nonsense, where we took a look at Pokemon size entries in the Pokedex and realized that many Pokemon are either much too big or much too small compared to what you would expect to see from them in real life. For example, we found that Joltik was just 4 inches long, which is actually surprisingly accurate to this plush right here. Tiny, right? Well, you guys requested a part 2 so much that I teamed with a pair of Pokedex experts to make a second list of more Pokemon whose sizes are flat out nonsense. Let's check it out.
Last episode, I talked about how silly it was that they listed Dunsparce's height at 4 feet 11 inches. I thought I'd start off today by putting that into perspective just a little bit. You know who else is 4 foot 11? Fully evolved Samurott. Wanna know who else? Salamence the Dragon. And you wanna know who else? Darkrai the Legendary. It looks humongous in the movie. Then again, it might just be those incredibly creepy legs. Ugh, get him away from me. Here's a fun bit of Pokemon logic. Magnemite, 13.2 pounds. Magneton, 132.3 pounds. What? How do 3 of these gain 10 times the weight? It's 3 times the length, from 1 foot to 3, so where does this ludicrous increase come from? But if you think that's bad, look at Diglett and Dugtrio. Diglett, 1.8 pounds. Dugtrio, 73.4 pounds! That is over 40 times heavier. So once again, of course, I had to look at the lengths. Diglett is 8 inches, and Dugtrio, who I assume to be much longer than the 3 Digletts with that kind of weight increase, is 2 feet 4 inches, just barely over 3.5 times the height. It just begs the classic question, what on earth is under this guy? But if you think those are weird, don't even get me started on X and Y's Doublade. Oh wait, no, it's twice the weight of a Honedge. Like it should be! Another size that seems to baffle people is Lucario. In most adaptations, most notably Super Smash Bros., he stands at around the same height as other humans. But his Pokedex height? A miniature 3 feet 11 inches. Huh. The X and Y portrayals are actually pretty close to truth here, with the Lucario shorter than the trainer models. Not even his Mega Evolution can save him from his runtiness though, leaving him at a mere 4 inches taller. But at least his Mega Evolution doesn't have it as bad as Mega Alakazam. Alakazam is... oh, looks like Alakazam's the same length as a Dunsparce too. But upgrade to Mega Alakazam and... what? He loses a foot in height! This is hogwash! I get that he crosses his legs and is floating, but... what? Are you telling me they wouldn't measure him from head to toe for the official Pokedex measurements? The weights are exactly the same between Alakazam and Mega Alakazam. What happened with that extra foot? I can't do it anymore. Too much Pokedex for me in one day. But thankfully, we have 2 Pokedexperts, Alex and Kells from the Dex, who have volunteered to save me. You guys run an entire channel on the Pokedex. Have you ever noticed anything strange about Pokemon sizes?
We're starting with a bang with the flagship legendaries from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, Groudon and Kyogre, the continent Pokemon and the sea basin Pokemon. Possessing the power to expand oceans and raise landforms, you'd think that these guys would be huge, right? Prepare to be disappointed. Kyogre is a mere 14 feet, 9 inches long, and only 776 pounds. That's actually smaller than your average killer whale, which is about 21 feet long and over 6,000 pounds. That makes him seem no more than a beefy dolphin.
Groudon, the master of the land, is even smaller at 11 foot 6. That's almost small enough to fit in our apartment if he ducked a little. The guy's barely taller than a basketball hoop. What's the deal? These guys should be enormous. They control the earth and the oceans. The upside for Groudon is his weight is 2,094.4 pounds, which totally would make sense for that height, unlike many of the other Pokemon we've covered.
Our list brings us now to Furret, the cutest little favorite Pokemon of all time. Furret's been one of my favorite Pokemon since Gold and Silver. I always imagine he hangs out on my shoulder as I walk from Poketown to Poketown, but nope. Furret is an enormous 5 feet 11 inches. That's actually taller than I am, and that's scary. Granted, I assume they measure head to tail, but still, that's huge! No Furret's riding around on my shoulder unless I want it dislocated.
One Pokemon who is sure to upset is the ultra-powerful Excadrill. I mean, this guy was banned to Ubers for a while in competitive battling because he's too much of a beast. He looks like a big, bulky mole with blades on his head, and I always imagine him at least 4 to 5 feet tall, but he's a pitiful 2 foot 4 and weighs 89.1 pounds. That's so tiny for such a huge force. It doesn't help that in black and white the size ratios were off, so he looked much bigger when fighting in multi-battles too.
And from here we go to a little legendary that is probably much smaller than you thought. Shaman Landform is only 8 inches long. Oh my gosh, that is a tiny legendary Pokemon. It's only 4.6 pounds. You could lose that guy in your yard. Keep a leash on him, he'll sink in the grass. And when he switches to Skyform, he does get a tad bigger, but not by much. Skyform is only 1 foot 4 inches tall, which is only about the size of a pug. Oh, pugs are so smushy.
That's it for today's Nintendo Fact of the Day, but as always, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, you can click this button right here to subscribe to my channel and get alerts when my new videos are coming out. And if you want even more crazy Pokédex nonsense, you can click here to follow me over to the Dex's channel, where we analyze everyone's favorite mascot, Hoppip. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.